Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths, and to a fun little video which is mainly a exploration of a fun exercise you can do, or at least I find it fun, precisely because I keep doing it when I should be doing other things instead. So, it's wooden prototyping. So I've talked before on the channel about how if you want to be sure if a concept works or if a particular design works, you can try it out, well, try it small before you make a bigger version. So that works pretty damn well. I've actually, completely by accident, made some pretty decent designs doing that. But another thing you can do is make cheap, nasty wooden prototypes. The principle being that if it works when the whole thing's made entirely out of wood, or mostly wood, then it will almost certainly work once you actually make it out of stuff that's, well, more expensive and useful. So, I've made a few, like, just, yeah, I don't know, mostly, it started out just for fun, but then I thought, hang on, this is actually quite freeing, because I know I'm never actually going to use any of these things in a campaign or for real or anything like that. I can just use this as a way of experimenting with different designs, different layouts and stuff like that, or practicing old ones, as in the case with this kind of canoe thing right here. So none of these things are named. They just started out with me with just building therapy canoe hulls, as I do. But then, yeah, kind of things occurred to me when this was going down. So let us spawn in... Let's spawn in 2 Marauders and see if this thing survives. Somehow I doubt it. It's firing semi-penetrator APS shells, in case you're wondering. We may or may not survive this. But anyway, so there are a number of advantages to making test vehicles just entirely out of wood. And the first one is, you can tell at a glance, pretty much, how big this thing is. Because wood beams have this lovely little, I guess, nail connection patch, these little stripes here. So you can just eyeball it and think like, okay, yeah, that's how big it is. And you can get an immediate sense of scale, even while you're building the thing, which is kind of handy, or at least I think it's kind of handy. You could just get a feel for it quicker. Are we going to survive this? We actually are. Look at that. Being mostly hollow works. And, another advantage of building something entirely out of wood, well, not building entirely out of wood, is like prototyping in wood, is that the thing is basically guaranteed to float, or if it's a flying thing, it's pretty much guaranteed to fly, because, well, it's made of wood. Wood is not incredibly heavy, and it floats. So, like, it is a way of just saying, like, okay, I don't want to worry about other stuff, about the weight and all that jazz. I just want to think about what guns is this thing packing, and can it do the thing, can it move the way I want it to, and so on and so forth. You do need to adjust for when you make it out of superior materials, but you can go from there. And another thing that you'll immediately notice is that because wood is flimsy, and it's basically just cheap hit points for the most part, that's its usual use, it's very easy to see where the thing gets hit and where it gets... Let's turn off rambots for repair tentacles. It's very easy to see where it gets hit and, you know, just getting an idea of like, alright, so where's this thing gonna get hit the most? So when you build the real thing, so to speak, you know where to put armor, you know where to concentrate active defenses and all that jazz. How fast are we moving? We're not moving tremendously fast. That is upsetting. It's almost like our hydrodynamics has been messed with because there's a big hole in our hull. And, yeah, so probably the most important thing about just building wooden fighting prototypes is, like, it's glass cannon practice. So this thing is flimsy as hell. Like, to give you an idea of how thick the armor is on this, it's not really that thick at all, or at least not for wood anyway, so it's like, at its maximum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of wood, and then there is a beam slope layer and an inner layer right there. So all in all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers, which isn't actually that thick in From the Depths terms. This craft is not particularly big. Also, very cheap. And, but if this thing can take on 2 Marauders and win, then you know you're onto some kind of design with potential here. There's some combination of things that have been put together here well. Admittedly, marauders are not particularly strong, but, you know, like, if you can achieve a goal, a specific design goal, with a wooden thing, like, it means it's accomplishing that in spite of being made of cardboard, which is very nice. And, building out of a flimsy material, let's just spawn in a different one now, so let's spawn in a bigger one with cram cannons, because that's fun. So, by the way, I just like this color scheme. I don't get enough chances to use it as far as I'm concerned. And let's spawn in something like, I don't know, let's spawn in a, where is it? Where's a plunderer? Hello? Where did the ah, there it went. So if you spawn in something like this, you can hopefully see that, prioritizing, look at that. Where am I going with this? I'm distracted by cram cannons again. Alright, so prioritizing active defense, speed, evasion, and firepower is generally a better way to go in playing From the Depths, just in general, because armor is your last line of defense, not your first one. So you don't want to design your craft around their armor. It still helps, but you want to keep first priority how it kills things, or how it kills projectiles that are coming to kill it, and stuff like that. So, yeah, that is important to note. You'll notice that this fella right here has missile interceptors on top of the turrets, and this is a very common tactic which I use because it works extremely well. It's just, they're pointing in the right direction already. And lastly, I kind of labored that point a little bit too much, is that when you build something out of wood, it feels cheap and disposable, so you're not getting emotionally attached to the thing. I feel nothing when this thing gets blown up because, well, I know it's a prototype, I know that I'm never really going to use this exact vehicle in a campaign or in a tournament or in adventure mode or wherever you want to be, so I don't mind testing a lot and seeing it get its ass kicked. So it's just a neat test platform for testing stuff. And these cram cannons, by the way, are actually huge. Well, they're very flat. This is a... Flat crams just make me so happy. They're just... It's a fun thing, these flat things. So yeah, that's basically it for wooden prototyping. I actually have a lot more of these. So, but I won't bore you with all of them. Some of them are quite fun. Some of them are not even canoes. So yeah, can recommend just, you know, if you're stuck in a rut, just try and make something that's a glass cannon, so to speak, and just prototype ideas on it. And if it doesn't work, hey, like, you were never going to use it anyway. It actually takes a bit of a mental burden off, so it's kind of good. And if you can get it to punch above its weight when it's made of wood, it'll probably punch above its weight when it's made out of better materials as well. And, last but not least, if you've made the thing out of wood, and if you immediately want it to be, oh, I don't know, something a little bit better, you can do something like this. Actually, I'm going to see if I can't do something like... Nah, I won't do that trick. There's a way of... If you go into the armor refit, you can swap specific materials for others and change the color and code for color as well. But in this case, what I'm going to do, this whole thing's made of wood, so I'm going to change all of it to reinforced wood, which is not ideal building material, by the way. Instead of reinforced wood, you're better off using wood mixed with metal. So yeah, that's not the best idea. But if you do this, suddenly this thing is way tougher and I barely had to do anything. It's also kind of bollocksed up the buoyancy a little bit, and the deck here is not as good as it used to be. So that's something that you'd need to fix. And then you can just do whatever is still wood. You can swap to alloy. So swap wood to alloy, keep color, refit. And hallelujah. All the slopes are now alloy. This thing is slightly more expensive. Can it take on a 200k thing? Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? Probably can't take on anything like that. I'm just making things up now. It took me the whole day to get motivated to do anything. Let's go. Can you take on a basilica? Thank goodness for active defenses. So yeah, cheap, nasty way to get things working again. Not perfect. So yeah, wooden prototyping. Can recommend. I'm just playing around with canoes now. And can confirm that the... Whoa, okay then, wow, that went a lot better than I thought it would. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps. And this foot perks, you just shot yourself. Why did you do that? That was very silly. I need to change some things, clearly. Where was I? Thank you all so much for watching. Fun perks are for you. Thank you to all my current supporters, and I will see you next time in From the Depths, when I am more awake, apparently. Farewell!